right, we are now joined by Roy Nelson. First question is going to come from the line of Steve Jewin. Steve, your line is now live.
All right, thank you, sir. And I have just one question for Mr. Nelson, and then I'll get off the line. Roy, you've had such a legendary career already, so many great fights, so many accomplishments. If things don't go your way on Friday night, is this it for you, or do you keep on keeping on?
You know what? It's one of those things. You know, as long as I'm competitive, I'm okay with however, because I mean, I know where I stand in the whole heavyweight division in the world, from UFC, from Bellator to ONE FC to the whole 9 yards. So as long as I'm competitive, I keep doing what I'm doing.
All right, thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of Giancarlo Alino. Giancarlo, your line is now live.
Hi, Roy. You competed on The Ultimate Fighter before, and you might have that experience now of not competing with too many people in attendance. Does that give you the advantage, you think, coming into this fight?
I think it gives the advantage is definitely changes your fight style, because you're not going out there and making sure you're pleasing the fans. So you're just kind of going out there and just, you know, getting the W any way you know how. I think that's the difference between when you're playing with fans live, you know, it's like a rock and roll concert. You got to make sure everybody's happy.
And how does that affect a fighter? Like, you've been around this sport a long time. Having no fans, does that really take a toll on a fighter, or is it just that it allows you to hear a corner more and helps you?
I think having no fans just makes it a little bit easier on what the plan is, the game plan. Like when you have fans, you kind of shift towards making the fans happy when you hear live. So I mean, that's the only difference versus like your game plan changes. You can stick to a game plan better.
Thank you very much, and best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of John Eric Poley. John, your line is now live.
Hi, Roy. I wanted to back up, to 2 weeks ago, we saw Tim Johnson get a big win over Matt Mitrione, and you were celebrating on Instagram. You were very happy for your teammate there. Can you just put it into words, though, just how proud you were of him?
I was living vicariously through Tim, because I've been asking for the Matt fight. I've been asking for a check. I've been asking for a lot of guys, and I just take fights whatever I get. So that fight was just one of those kind of just marks, because just telling Tim exactly how to beat him and how to basically just get the job done. And Tim executed a game plan that was flawless, besides a little headbutt.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that too, because he said that in his post-fight that you were very helpful to him during training camp. Now, for this training camp for you, is Tim helpful to you just like you were to him?
I didn't really have Tim this training camp, just besides the I think we made it work specifically for me, like, because this was a short notice fight for me. So not really, because we're more for Tim, and then Tim actually had a fight, and then when he got back, he came back I think so I got like maybe one good sparring session with him.
And then just the last thing for me then, a few years ago, I was in Vegas and I stopped by Floyd Mayweather's gym just to see it. And you were in there doing some boxing training. So I was wondering, do you still go over to Mayweather's, and how have they helped you out helped you through your career?
Throughout my career, working out at Floyd's or Bones's, I pretty much I go everywhere I can find good work. So anywhere I can find good work and work with good people, that's where I'll go.
Thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right, our next question comes from the line of Jay Anderson. Jay, your line is now live.
Thanks very much, and welcome back, Roy. I wanted to ask, at 44, what's the biggest difference in your training today from, say, 10 years ago?
10 years ago, the difference is not being able to find a gym now. I mean, this at 44, there's a pandemic, so finding a gym is really hard now. Back then, you could find a gym just throw a rock.
All right, now, if you do get past Moldavsky, I mean, would you be interested in being one of Fedor's final opponents?
You know what? I've always wanted to fight Fedor. But you know, I think if I get past Moldavsky, or when I do, I think it's time for me to actually start picking who I want to fight versus, you know, just taking whoever they give me.
And last one for me, you talked about, you know, having the fans there, you kind of feel that pressure to put on a show. You've always been a guy who likes to entertain, though. Is that a change in mindset that you've had now where you've got to start looking out for yourself more?
No, anytime I've always, you know, because the fans are the ones that pays the bills, but it's just different when it's live because they're not paying the bills now. Now it's TV stuff. So it's a little bit different. Now you just go out there and put on a show. But you just go out and win. And then that's all that matters because that's all the network matters.
All right. Our next question comes from the line of Arkady Sakovsky. Arkady, your line is now live.
Hi, Roy. How are you?
Good.
Greetings from Israel. My question is, you are a knockout artist. You prefer to stand and bang in the phone booth, but a lot of people don't know and maybe don't remember that you're an excellent grappler. Will we see the grappler?
You know what? I'm hoping we'll see all my versatile tool belt skills that I have in this fight, just because that's what my coaches want to see. So I have to give them what, you know, they're the only ones. They're the fans that I have that are in my corner.
If anybody wants to hear how good your grappling is, they should hear Rampage's commentary on The Ultimate Fighter after your win against the late great Kimbo Slice.
Of course.
Good luck to you, Roy. Wish you well and hope that you win, and maybe we'll see you fight for the title.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of Dimitri Kagan. Dimitri, your line is now live.
Hey, Roy, you spoke about picking your opponents. With Valentin being a up-and-comer, you know, he's got an impressive record. Do you feel like he was not worthy of fighting you, or would you have just rather fought somebody else? And how do you feel about fighting him? Have you studied him?
No, fighting, you know, Valentin, I'm always gracious of, you know, be able to fight, you know, whoever, and especially up-and-comers, you know, the whole 9 yards. It's just, throughout my whole career, I've never actually picked a fighter, like, you know, pick a fight where, but there's fights that are on my radar that I actually wanted, that it just never came to fruition, just because, you know, like whatever politics are or not politics or how the game is played. But it's just, there's just fights that I want, and there's people I just want to beat up, and that's what it is. We're in the fight game.
I fully understand. You've been around the block. I mean, you deserved it. If you had your number one pick, who would be your number one pick or your top three?
You know, like they're like Fedor's number, like just like one of those legacy ones. But then like a Matt Mitrione is just, I just want to beat him up and just make some money. Like that's just like a
Who's the third one? You can't pick two. It's either one or three.
One or three. I gave you two, and then Jack Kong would be another, because you know,
Awesome.
Check's right now right there on the he just fought for the belt last, so, and then I'd like to give him the chance to knock me out now.
Our next question comes from the line of Sergio Pinheiro. Sergio, your line is now live.
And it's not live.
Sergio, you there? All right, we're going to move on to Kevin Shajin. Kevin, your line is now live.
Hey, Roy, Big Country, how we doing?
Good.
All right, Roy, you've had a long career. Given the length and success of your career so far, what goal are you most proud of, and what else do you want to accomplish in your career before you retire?
You know, I'm still just, you know, plugging away and doing what I'm doing. Right now, it's still the it's still for the, you know, the Bellator belt. And then once I fight for the belt and then win it, and then I can just go, here you go, and have it back. Like I'm good after that. It's just, that's that, as long as I'm competitive, that's kind of how I, you know, I see this fight game, because I just do what I love.
All right, last question from me is, listen, you know, Valentine's an up and coming. It's been mentioned, but how much forward do you look to be playing spoiler party for this fight?
I love playing the spoiler party, because I like to say, you know, F you to everybody.
All right, well, thank you, Roy. Good luck. I hope to see a good old fashioned big country knockout. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, our next question comes from the line of Alex Behunin. Alex, your line is now live.
Hi, Roy. Last weekend, the conversation was all about Stipe and DC, and that they are the best two heavyweights of all time. I think people forget that you fought both of them back to back. Do you have somebody on the top of your head who's the best heavyweight of all time?
Best heavyweight of all time depends on like what I guess. I think it's styles and matchups. Because in the heavyweight division, it's literally, it takes only one punch. I mean, you had Francis fight was it Jocko last week with Junior. Francis fought is that his name? Was it that you guys are no help over there, because you guys don't watch the UFC. You don't watch MMA? Never seen it. But no, the it just heavyweight division, just, you know, one punch can definitely change. So like heavyweight can literally just change. I mean, you have like somebody that probably like Stefan Struve would probably beat Stipe again, like just because of just the reach and just it's just a style matchup. I mean, no one ever would go, well, who knocked out Stipe? And be like, oh, it was Stefan Struve. You know what I mean? So in the heavyweight division, it's a big change of like how like the game's played, especially unless they're more athletic, and then all they're doing is just playing tag and they're not really fighting.
All right, our next question is going to come from the line of Jay Anderson. Jay, your line is now live.
Oh, hey, thanks. Just a follow up, Roy. I know you talked about, you know, when I asked what's the difference between 44 and 34, the lack of gym availability. How difficult has the quarantine been on you in terms of getting the training you need? I know this is short notice, but you've got those extra restrictions.
Oh yeah, no, it's hard to grapple with a mask on and a plastic bag, you know, all that. It's just this whole pandemic thing is definitely a I just wish it wasn't a political year, and then maybe we wouldn't be talking about this.
Fair enough. Thanks.
All right, and our last question here is going to come from the line of Sergio Pinero. Sergio, are you there?
And he's not.
Sergio, can you hear us? All right. Well, that does it. Roy, thank you very much for the time.